Even having my favorite president call us and tell us we need to knock this off, I think it actually needs to be reversed. The president needs to tell Kevin McCarthy that, sir, you do not have the votes and it's time to withdraw.
Well, Hannity also decided to put the pressure on Lauren Boebert on Fox News. Let's watch that.
Kevin McCarthy does not have 218 votes. Kevin McCarthy will not be
and you
speaker.
have 20.
Kevin
I asked you a very specific question. If by Friday you don't have 30,
I will not, Sean. I will not withdraw. Our asks were not petty of Kevin McCarthy. They were not self-serving. We simply were asking for commitments on what the American people want to see. They want to see a vote on term limits, a vote on the Texas border plan to secure the southern border. And for crying out loud, Sean, we asked for a vote on a budget that actually balances. Imagine a Congress that stops spending money that we don't have. We are going to get this right, and we are going to get the right speaker, Sean.
If you only have 30, to be clear, you will not withdraw.
30 is going to be a beautiful number to reach.
But you're telling Kevin McCarthy and the 203 people that support him to withdraw because they don't have 218. That's what you're saying.
Look, it's obvious by tonight's motion to adjourn that Kevin McCarthy and his supporters are already getting voter fatigue. And
I asked you a simple question, Congresswoman. I feel like I'm getting a liberal
I'm not going
an
to
answer
support
from a
Kevin
liberal.
McCarthy, Sean.
The biggest insult you can get from Sean Hannity. I feel like I'm getting an answer from a liberal. It seems like this is about more than politics from Lauren Boebert. It seems like it's personal, and that's because it is, as Jim Himes revealed yesterday. Let's watch.
First of all, that group has been getting bigger, not smaller. Every ballot has given them more energy, right? And I will tell you, too, from conversations, I won't say with whom, but with certain high-profile members of that group of 20, I think there's 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 of them who there is nothing you can give them other than Kevin McCarthy's head, right? And I've actually heard one of them say it, which is, look, we're open to anything. We're open to negotiation. We're just not going to do it with Kevin. I heard one of them say, because Kevin lied to me, and then he lied about me. So this has become deeply personal.
Jim Himes chopping it up, causing some drama. It's pretty clear that there's a coalition of folks who will never vote for Kevin McCarthy. So who's to say what happens next? A lot of people are talking about the prior speaker vote that took many rounds, lasting 133 rounds and months. We don't know if that's going in this direction, but this morning we did have Matt Gaetz cast a ballot for Donald Trump, which was a very interesting move. Can Donald Trump be Speaker of the House, given that he doesn't hold a seat in the House of Representatives? The Constitution is ambiguous on the matter. It says, the House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers. Constitutional scholar David Fort said, it would have been unthinkable for the most populous House not to have its leader be part of the representatives who are elected by the people. More reported by NBC. Fort said nothing fits that would make the speaker anything other than a member of the House, except for the Constitution's silence on the issue. Fort says, noting that the Articles of Confederation said members of Congress shall have authority to appoint one of their members to preside. It seems that Matt Gaetz has decided that the Constitution's silence on the matter and ambiguity there is enough for them to nominate someone who doesn't hold a seat in the House of Representatives. Nevertheless, there's a lot of chaos going on, and who's to say who's going to end up being Speaker? It seems like Lauren Boebert and her faction will be withholding their votes from McCarthy for as long as possible. Jackson, what are your thoughts on the circus?
So, well, first of all, I'm not going to do anything to stop it, nor should any of us. But, in politics and in life in general, but, especially politics, you got to choose your battles. And this one really doesn't make any sense for several reasons. One, the Republicans don't have the Senate. We're going into a lame duck session, and pretty much the second half of anybody's term is typically going to be pretty flat, pretty deadline. Joe Biden really isn't going to try to do much of anything in his second half anyway. And, what's really the difference if Kevin McCarthy or anybody else were to lead the Republicans in the House along policy lines, because they're still homogenous in that regard. But outside of that, just speaking from an objective standpoint, Kevin McCarthy really is the man for the job when it comes to who's going to lead the Republicans in the House. He's very well known. He's recognizable. He's not totally insane like Lauren Boebert. But interestingly enough, it wasn't just Sean Hannity, but Marjorie Taylor Greene was actually telling everybody else who was voting against him that they need to get it together. So if this is the best that the Republican Party can do for the foreseeable future, then they're going to beat themselves in every election coming up.
Yeah, I don't think there's any sort of play the Democrats have here either. They're consistently voting for Jeffries, keeping those 212 votes every single time. But there are some making the case that we should have a coalition government, and definitely you have Lauren Boebert saying to Hannity, we're asking for concessions, we're asking for reasonable things, we're asking to have a balanced budget. And then you have people like Jim Himes with the New Democratic Coalition saying, we're going to need to raise the debt ceiling. So we're stalling now in choosing a speaker. But a few months down the line, we're going to have this struggle over how do we keep the government open again and raise the debt ceiling. So I don't think the circus is really blocking them getting anything done. Like, we haven't seen the House of Representatives or the Senate get huge legislation passed to make life better for everyday working people in the United States. So I'm of the opinion that having this debate is fine. What do you think about just the debate among Republicans and how the Democrats are kind of keeping to themselves and consistently voting for Jeffries?
I mean, I don't really think that the debate matters. I mean, when it comes to whatever establishment Republicans and Democrats debate all the time, like the debt ceiling and things like that, they always raise it anyway. Like when it comes to, is the government going to be shut down? No, not for that long, because the ultimate price of the government being shut down for a long period, no one's going to pay that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the arguments that Republicans have really don't hold any weight anyway. And again, whether it's Kevin McCarthy or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Donald Trump or any of them who were to hold that position, it would all be the same in terms of what policy direction they would want to go at anyway. So, I mean, the Democrats, unfortunately, can take advantage of this and say, oh, well, we're better than that mess over there. So, it's up to us to get more progressive candidates in office and hold the Democrats' feet to the flame.